I'm excited. And I'm excited about Xbox, and it's been a little while since I've been able to say that because, let's be honest, the Xbox One generation was a bit of a damp squib, even though the Xbox One X was actually a decent bit of hardware. Before we get to the reason why I'm excited though, I would like to ask you guys a favour, and basically the favour is to do with YouTube. YouTube's kicking my ass along with lots of small YouTubers at the moment, and we're not getting our videos sent out to our subscribers or anyone else. So if you want to see my videos and you want to do me a favour, give me a thumbs up on this channel, and also when you've finished watching this video, click on one of my other videos because that makes more of a difference than anything else you can do. So watch this video and then go and click on another one of my videos. Click on my name, go into my channel and then choose a video and watch it, and you'll be doing me a huge favour. And if you don't want to watch anything too long, click one of the short ones. But anyway, let's get to the point. As I say, the Xbox One generation started pretty badly with an underpowered console and chugging away with a yoke around its neck, the yoke being the Kinect. And they didn't really have very much focus back then either. Nobody seemed to know what the hell was going on. Did they want to show games? Did they want to talk about games? Did they want us to play games? Or were they only interested in television and making games that had TV elements to them? And after a couple of years, those games were pretty much drying up, leaving the PlayStation 4 to fill the void. And by 2017, Sony were cooking with gas, putting decent games out on a regular basis. Xbox, meanwhile, was continuing to struggle with very few great games and an upper management that seemingly wasn't interested in the platform at all. Phil Spencer took over from Don Matrick in 2014, but things didn't seem to get any better. Well, not to the casual observer anyway. And some Xbox fans even got mad at Spencer for the apparent change of focus when in 2016, Quantum Break became the first Xbox game to release day and date on the PC. For those Xbox fans, it was some sort of betrayal, with one particular fan, known as Crap Gamer, and I'm sure you guys have heard of him, even messaging Phil Spencer on Twitter and saying he'd cancelled his pre-order of the game. Spencer completely humiliated Crap Gamer with his reply, saying, "You cancelled a pre-order for a game you want to play because someone else gets to play the game on Windows?" And this caused Crap to jump ship over to PlayStation, where he now makes a fool of himself over there on a regular basis. But some of us saw this as a hint of things to come. Xbox was shifting gears and starting to wake up from its slumber, and Phil Spencer had a long-term plan, at least it seemed that way. I even said that I thought that this was the case in a little watched video that came out at the time called Quantum Break Exclusives and the Future of Xbox. I hadn't guessed just how wide-ranging the changes would be though. In 2015 we got backwards compatibility, with E3 going crazy at the announcement. It was great, but even then I speculated that it may have been implemented as a band-aid to cover up for the lack of decent first-party offerings. Then in 2016 we had the release of the Xbox One S and the announcement of the Xbox One X, which arrived the following year in November 2017, 1 year after Sony gave us the PlayStation 4 Pro. The Xbox One X was a beast of a console held back only by the lack of CPU grunt and by, well, you guessed it, lack of content. The only game of any real note was Forza 7, which came out in October, but other than that there was pretty much nothing else. What we did get that year though was Game Pass, and that was the real turning point, even though not everybody recognised that fact at the time. I'm going to make another video about why I think gaming rental services are superior to digital purchases, so I won't go into any great detail here, but Game Pass was clearly good value for money from day one, offering a superior experience to a service like Sony's PlayStation Now, simply because it wasn't relying on streaming to deliver new or backwards compatible games. And the service became even more desirable in January 2018 when Phil Spencer announced that all the new first-party games would be coming to the service day and date with their retail release, meaning that every new Forza, Gears, Halo, etc. would drop day one on the service, along with all the games coming from their newly acquired or opened studios. Sony did add the ability to download all but PlayStation 3 games to PlayStation Now in late 2018, but their first-party games still don't come day and date to the service. Personally, though, I think it's only a matter of time. If Sony want to compete in this space, they simply have to follow Xbox's lead here. The mantra from some quarters was still that Xbox had no games, though, but it was pretty clear that things were changing, especially when Spencer announced at 2018's E3 that Microsoft had created or acquired 5 more first-party studios: The Initiative, Undead Labs, Playground Games, Ninja Theory, and Compulsion Games. This was a big announcement any way you look at it, and it sent a clear message that Xbox meant business in the gaming industry. In effect, Xbox were back. Since then, things have continued to gather pace. At the Game Awards in 2019, we got our first look at the Xbox Series X, with its little brother, the Xbox Series S, being shown later in 2020, just before both consoles were released on the 10th of November. Priced at $499, £449, and $299, £249, they offer a lot of power for the money, especially the Series X, which on paper at least is the most powerful of the current gen consoles, with the PlayStation 5 a little way behind. It's with services and functionality where the Xbox is really pulling ahead though. In April 2019, Microsoft announced Game Pass Ultimate, which gives subscribers access to a large game library across both Xbox and PC, with seamless saves between both. The Quantum Break PC release really was a sign of things to come. Then xCloud was made available to Ultimate subscribers in September 2020, offering a way to stream Game Pass games to phone and tablets, with a PC app and possibly an Xbox app coming later. And this is something which could open up possibilities of streaming games to consoles while they're installing games, or just as a way of saving hard drive space, as well as allowing a console with lower specs to run a game that it might otherwise struggle with. People were speculating that Microsoft might make a streaming-only box, but they don't need to, as the Series S can already fill that need. Whether that's the route they'll take, I don't know, but that possibility is definitely there. This all gives us another glimpse into Microsoft's long-term strategy, a strategy which hasn't really changed over the years. Microsoft want to be in every room in the house. And maybe that's why they made an Xbox Series X fridge. And some of the features the new consoles are offering are great too. Smart delivery and FPS boost are features that the PlayStation currently can't match, with its messy cross-generational games and confusing approach to saves across generations, and even across services, with PlayStation Now saves being completely separate from console saves. And even the much-touted load times are no match for Quick Resume on the Xbox, which puts you straight back into a game where you left off within seconds of loading. Yes, the PlayStation 5 has a few notable successes in terms of games running slightly better on the console than on the Xbox, but that is more of a surprise than anything else, and while it doesn't matter too much either way, it probably won't continue as the generation continues and developers get more used to the two platforms. As the saying goes, a skilled big boxer beats a skilled small boxer every time, and the Xbox Series X is the skilled big boxer in this scenario, with better specs pretty much across the board, apart from the SSD. And as I've already said, Quick Resume on the Xbox beats PS5's raw power in that department because of the way it's set up. It's both faster and more convenient. And Xbox isn't finished there. It was announced in September 2020 that Microsoft would be acquiring ZeniMax Media, and that deal has completed on the 9th of March this year. That's 2021, bringing games such as Doom, Skyrim, Fallout, Dishonored and Wolfenstein under the Xbox Studios banner, not to mention games like the upcoming Starfield. This was a huge deal, $7.5 billion, and once again, it sent a message that Microsoft and Xbox is serious about the gaming industry, something that couldn't have been said back in 2013. 2 days later, on the 11th of March, 20 Bethesda games were made available to Game Pass subscribers, and a few days later, 5 of those games, The Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim Special Edition, Prey, Fallout 4, Fallout 76, and Dishonored the Definitive Edition were upgraded with FPS boost, making them run better than ever on console. We also had EA Play come to Game Pass in September last year, and it finally arrived on Game Pass for PC on March the 18th. Then we had smaller announcements like Octopath Traveler arriving on Game Pass along with Outriders, the first big third-party game to come to Game Pass day and date with its retail release. I don't think anyone expected to see Octopath Traveler on Xbox at all, never mind coming to Game Pass, so that in itself is significant, but Outriders is perhaps more so, and it suggests that Game Pass is becoming increasingly attractive to developers as a way of distributing their games. And that in turn suggests that the business model for Game Pass is a good one. As I say, Microsoft isn't finished, and I fully expect to hear more announcements from them in the years and months ahead. We're already hearing strong rumours that Ubisoft Plus is coming to Game Pass, for instance, and the rumours about a deal with Sega, well, they just won't go away. I doubt that they're actually buying Sega, but they probably are going to do more deals with them. The news story that really struck me in the last few days, though, relates to Discord and the suggestion that Microsoft are in talks to acquire the company for $10 billion. Now, some people have questioned why this would be a good deal for Microsoft, but I think it's a no-brainer. Discord has 140 million monthly active users, and they're all potential Game Pass subscribers. Then there's the potential to further integrate Xbox, PC and other gamers through Discord. As I say, it's a no-brainer for Microsoft, but whether it happens or not is open to question. Time will tell, but either way, Microsoft and Xbox are on the move. They were asleep for, most of last generation, but now the sleeping giant has woken. That could be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on how you look at it, and I know some PlayStation fans are getting uppity about it and a bit worried. I myself have expressed concerns about Microsoft becoming too dominant in the gaming arena. That's not where we are now, though, and seeing Xbox become more competitive and start to offer some of the most compelling services and features in gaming, not to mention some of the best games potentially, can only be a good thing. Competition for the industry is good, and Microsoft are finally competing. But look, that's what I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe and all the usual stuff. And please do that thing and click on one of my other videos while you're at it. You'll be doing me a huge favour, and it'll help you see my other content. So when I put out other videos in the future, you might, with a bit of luck and a following wind, actually get them pushed to you, so you'll see that I've released a new video. But in the meantime, I'm off to get my lad from school because he's just about to finish, and I'll speak to you guys in the next one. Bye.